So there's a lot of bad advice out there on how to lose weight, and it can really kill your progress. So I'm about 1 year into my health and fitness journey, and I try to remind myself of this bad advice on a regular basis because some of it is just so believable, but it's just not true. And if you're not careful, it can creep into your understanding. So in this video, I want to share with you some of this bad advice, things that you've probably actually heard about yourself already, so that you can make the best decisions moving forward. So let's get going. Extreme diets. So there are a lot of different diets out there and a lot of talk about the benefits of different diets, why you should do different diets. My belief, however, is that it's everything in moderation. For me, I would much rather have a balance of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats than just cut out carbohydrates, as an example. If you do want to follow an extreme diet like keto or carnivore or something like that, then by all means go for it. But just understand why you're doing it and don't do it just because someone has recommended it to you. What's really important to remember is that a diet itself will not make you lose weight. A diet itself will not make you lose weight. A diet is a tool to help you hit your calorie target. At least that's what I've found anyway. So for me, over the last year, what I've found to be really useful is not to focus on a specific diet, but instead to focus on getting enough protein, so 1 gram per pound of body weight, and also hitting my calorie target every day. Now I do try and eat a mixture of different foods for a bit of variety, but I also don't put too much pressure on myself to do that. I don't get hung up on this point. Instead, I focus on the principle and not the tools. The next piece of bad advice is around skipping meals. Now, skipping meals fundamentally can lead to weight loss, it is true, but there are some caveats that come with this in order for it to be effective. It all ties into calories in versus calories out. So if you skip breakfast, for example, and then eat the same amount of calories for lunch and dinner, then yes, this is probably going to help because you're shifting that calories in versus calories out equation. The problem is that when we do skip a meal, we normally get really hungry and that leads us to overeat at our next meal. So much so that we can actually increase the total number of calories in for the day. Personally, for me, I like spreading my meals out throughout the day because as well as making me feel less hungry throughout the day, it also gives me something to look forward to as well, so I don't unnecessarily snack between meals. Another thing to remember here is that you have to remember calories out as well. Just because you're skipping breakfast and eating the same for your lunch and dinner, if you're still eating more than you're burning each day, then you're not going to lose weight. You need to make sure that the total number of calories you burn each day is more than the total number of calories you eat each day. This is how you lose weight. This is the principle. Now, as I say, skipping meals can be effective. This is basically what intermittent fasting is, right? So by all means, follow this advice and start skipping meals, but just make sure you're doing it the right way. Otherwise, it can be more harm than good. If you're finding this video valuable, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Exercise, exercise, exercise. So it is really, really difficult to just exercise your way to weight loss. And this seems counterintuitive, right? If you run for 30 minutes each day, why wouldn't you lose weight? And although it can help, it's not quite as simple as this. Now, I heard a way of explaining this on a video by James Smith, which I think is a great way to understand this concept. So if we take the total number of calories someone burns throughout the day and then break this down into how they burn these calories, I think you get a very good understanding of why just exercising is not the answer. So let's say we have John. John burns 2,000 calories per day. He goes for a 30-minute walk each day, which burns around 150 calories. He then burns around 150 calories during the day, walking around the house, going up and down the stairs, extra activity, right? So that's 300 calories. The other 1,700 calories are burnt just by John being alive. So this is his basal metabolic rate. Now you can see that actually the activity that John does only makes up a very small part of his total calories burnt. Now let's say that John eats around 2,500 calories a day, which is not difficult to do, right? This would not be an unusual situation. That means that he is in a 500 calorie surplus and is likely gaining weight. So he's definitely not losing weight at this point. Now let's say that John starts to exercise, right? And he starts to run each day and runs for 30 minutes each day and burns an extra 400 calories. You can see that he would actually still be in a calorie surplus. Now, a standard calorie target to lose weight consistently is to target 500 calories less than you burn each day. This would mean that John would need to do an extra 1,000 calories of activity each day to reach this, and this is going to be really, really hard. However, a mixture of adjusting his diet and incorporating exercise will make this nice and simple. If John adjusts his diet to eat 600 calories less each day, and also goes for a 30-minute run, suddenly he is now in a 500 calorie deficit and will be losing weight at a steady rate. This is a really important point, so I hope I was able to clearly show it just then. So this is why the advice of just exercise your way to weight loss doesn't always help. In some situations it will, but it really comes back to calories in versus calories out. There's a reason why people say to lose weight, you need to move more and eat less, right? It's tied to this point. So there we go. I really hope that this video has helped you understand that there are a lot of tools out there, but these tools by themselves will not make you lose weight. Instead, you have to focus on the principle of calories in versus calories out, and then use these tools to assist with that. I try to remind myself of this regularly, and it's really helped over the last year with my weight loss and keeping me consistent. So with that being said, good luck. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next video.